As you can see from the resolution we got by email this morning, it was successful. Let me tell you that I was there, Judge Hunt was there, Tom Lambert from Crockett Economic was there, and of course Mr. David Shepard, who has appeared here, was there. It began at 9 o'clock. We came in once they did the pledge and the prayer. The chairman announced that they had been in executive session trying to interview new executive directors for 2 or more hours the preceding day, and that they were not through.